Oh, by the way, we are so excited because we have a special guest. A few weeks ago, you might remember my special guest, Michelle Post from LA. Well, this is Emilio Parga, and he came from Reno, Nevada, and he is the founder, like I am, of the Solace Tree. So welcome to Olivia's house.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here. I know, thank you.
Tell me what's one word now that you've been through the house. We talk about it all the time when we see each other out west, but what's one word that comes to your mind having seen all the rooms up close and personal now?
Extraordinary.
Yeah, it is a pretty extraordinary place.
It is. It's an extraordinary place.
There's some energy here, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I feel every room when I walk through each room.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can relate because he runs a grief center that is very similar to Olivia's house. Programs for children. We do much of the same work, and we've helped each other and mentored each other through the years. So tell us a little bit about how you got Solace Tree off the ground.
Well, I'm a former school teacher and school counselor, and I just saw a huge need in not only my school, but the community, and the neighborhood and the community, and starting to ask other professionals about helping children who were dealing with death. Though we were dealing with incarceration and divorce, they said there's really nothing for them. You know, they'll eventually get over it, and they're resilient, and in about a year or so, they'll forget their parents will remarry, and they're young enough their parents might have another child, or they'll move on, they'll have sports and arts. I'm like, no, we need to do something for kids, because I was thinking about when my dad died when I was 10.
Yeah.
And these kids were talking about and going through some of the things that I was going through. And so I'm like, we need to find out what's happening around the United States, or even just close to home, that we can do to, do something different, add another resource to the profession, school counseling, teaching, social work, medicine, etc.
Yeah.
So I started a nonprofit, and now we have the Solace Tree, and it's very similar to Olivia's house, and now we're on their programs. But we're just bringing kids together.
It keeps growing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
The need keeps growing, but the way that we do our work just keeps just kind of going and evolving.
And I love that when the kids graduate themselves, they come back.
Like mentors.
They're mentors,
yeah.
But they're also volunteers, and they help raise money. They pass out brochures, and they speak. And they do internships as well.
Yeah.
So
we love that. We kind of send that message from the get-go. When they walk in the door, the first time they feel like a victim. But by the time they leave here, I tell them, you're a wisdom giver. You know way more than any of your friends do. But you are now the teacher of all of that. Only you know your grief journey. So you can be the teacher of that. And you know what? They grab onto that so much more, as you well know.
And they're helping others. And I think we're contributing as a center and our staff. But I think when the kids and teens come through, they become young adults. There's that unresolved grief. But then they contribute to society and help others with who have grief issues become unresolved by saying, I may not know what you're going through, but I've had similar feelings and issues, and I go to a place, or I went to a place that kind of helped me deal with my anger.
And it's interesting because Reno, I don't know how big Reno is, probably a lot bigger than York. But for us to have a grief center in our towns is amazing, because not every town has a grief center.
They don't.
And some towns have grief centers, they don't even know they have them, which is why Emilio's here. He's going to be a guest speaker this evening at a special presentation we're making in our community. We're focusing on the Solace Tree and then on Olivia's house as well, but mostly trying to help our community understand that there are other grief centers out there doing this great work. We aren't the only one, and by the way, if you like what Emilio's doing, hey, we're doing that too here in York, so it's nice.
And I love how we're both at both sides of the United States, connecting the head and the heart, and just by being present and offering a resource to help all professionals know that if we can just sit and listen and be with the kids, we'll help them grow, and they'll contribute to society. And I think it gives us as adults insight into what matters and what's real, and it just helps us get along.
Absolutely. I loved your video. I thought it was wonderful. He did a half-hour documentary on the Solace Tree, not unlike the special that we did with PBS, and it was a real pleasure and a privilege to be able to kind of share with the world what we do here, kind of in a nutshell. But your video was wonderful, and
thank you so much.
People will get to tune into that on WITF. They've been running your videos, so we are excited. We're glad he's here, and I just want to say, if you aren't able to ever come down to Olivia's house to see the magic that works, that is kind of in every room here, please give us a call. We'd love to give you a tour, and we'd love to show you through and give you more information about how you can stay connected or get connected to us should you have the need. Thanks again, sweetie, for being here. I'm so glad you're here.
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
Have a great week, everybody. Oh, by the way.